Alright, Duke and Dave are back. It's been a while since we last met. We worked on some projects before Christmas break. Got to go back to Texas and see the whole family for Christmas, so that was really nice. Do have some updates on predators. In the colder weather, I've lost a few chickens, so we'll do a walk around and update you on that. And then I did film some videos that I did to prep before going on Christmas vacation, so I'll include those after this intro. But for now, we'll take you on a walk around and give you some updates. Come on. So, right now, I'm down to 3 chickens now. The weekend before Christmas, I was out of town in Farmington on a Sunday after church and came back, and Monday morning I noticed there were 4 chickens missing, and I walked around. I found one dead carcass, and then I found one that was trapped, had run under the shed and got herself trapped. So a predator got 3 of them before Christmas. And then over Christmas break, one of my projects, I installed the chicken door on the chicken coop, and that worked well, but the predator must have come during the day because I lost 2 more chickens over the break. And the one other project that I did before I left was drained all my tanks because it was going to be cold, and I filled up the freshwater tank inside the shed. So my battery's about ready to die, so that's the update here. You'll notice there's 1 guinea missing. It was squawking all the time. And so today I get to try fresh guinea, and the 3 chickens I just today found eggs in the coop. So the new chickens are now laying eggs. So that's a nice surprise. But that's a wrap for Alright, for our next project, I got this in the mail on Thursday, and it's a automatic chicken coop door with a solar panel. So I'm going to read the instructions and go install this on the chicken coop, because I plan to go home for Christmas next week, and nobody will be here to open the door and let the chickens out every day. So I'm going to install this today and run some tests, make sure it's working fine before I leave next week. So that is the next project. The door is just wide enough that the screw holes do not screw into the wood. So I need to go cut some wood to screw into the door, and then screw this into that. And just like that, magic. Got 2 pieces of wood. I need to lower it just a smidge because it has a bottom bar that I don't want the chickens tripping over. But that screw is stripped. Now I gotta go get my drill that out in order to lower it. we have put the solar panel on top facing south towards the sun. We've got the chicken door automatic opener installed. Right now the mode is set to open on light, close on light, and you see the battery level is charging, so that means the solar panel is working. And to manually open it, hit the up button. And then to close it, hit the down button. So everything looks to be working good so far. One thing that the directions did advertise is that it has a stop in case there's a chicken in there and it's coming down. So I'm going to test that now. If I lose my hand, then the chicken stop doesn't work. Alright. It's going to put some pressure on the chicken, but it will go back up. Alright, well, that's about a wrap for this project. It did take a little more work than expected because I had to put the side panels on. The door was just wide enough that it was about the same width as this chicken door, and the screws wouldn't screw in on both sides, so I had to put these little wood panels in there, which seemed to work fine. And then the reason that I had to undo all the screws is because when I tested this, I didn't realize there's this bar down here, and I had put it up a little bit so that this didn't hit the wood or straw and go back up in the middle of the night to let predators in. So now it's just up to monitoring this the next couple days, make sure it's working as expected. So, and clean up some tools. I broke 2 drill bits trying to get that one stripped screw out, but I got it working. So that's a wrap for this project. Freshwater tank is empty, or running very, very low. So it's a nice, sunny, warm day above freezing. So it's time to hook up our hoses and pump some water, fresh water from this tank up to the camper. So whenever I pump water and I'm done, I have to drain the hoses and I store them in here. So I'm going to get these out, hook them up to my outside faucet that I have. In here I just got to make sure this plug is pumped in. This goes to the pump here, which puts pressure to the outside faucet. So we're going to work on that right now. Here's our outdoor faucet, so we'll just hook things up and get started. Now we're hooked up to the faucet, going through our 5-micron filter. Got the hose running up to the camper here. And now it's just time to fill it up. goes. Alright, freshwater tank is now full. And for our next task, I have this little transfer pump here, which is new out of the box. And we're going to go work on pumping some water from the lake back into the freshwater tank. Alright, we are back at the spring holding pond. This pump here, I was reading the instructions, and it says you can't use a hose longer than 25 feet. And all the way up there to my storage shed is at least 50 feet. So I dug through my storage, got this old sump pump that I had bought in Texas when my basement flooded, and decided to try this first. I put a cinder block in this water to keep the suction filter off the bottom and not suck up all the leaves and dirt. But I did not expect this to work. I put a gallon of water in the hose up at the top of the hill to prime it. I loosened up this priming nut there, and sure enough, air came out, water came in, tightened it down. I brought my jackery to plug in because I didn't expect this to work, but it worked. So now I just turn this on. You can hear the pump pumping. It took a while to get the air out of the suction line, but it's pumping. This jackery is at 99% power. But we're going to come up to the top of the hill, and I was kind of surprised to see the water flowing, so that made my day a lot better. I thought I was going to have to hook up all the PVC for the trash pump. But if we come in here, you can hear the water trickling. That's a pretty good flow. So I'm going to monitor this, fill up my water tank on a nice above freezing sunny day, and we'll be good for more water for a while. Alright, I'm winded because I ran up and down this hill several times getting this to work. But now I don't know what's going to happen first, if I'll fill up the tank first or my jackery will run out of battery. But if that happens, I've got a generator under this camper that I'll just bring over there and start the generator up if the jackery runs out of power. So we'll just let it flow. All right. It's been about 20 minutes. The water level is right here, so we're almost full. The water's still flowing good. So we're going to go turn off the pump. But this is one project that went better than expected. A lot of my projects take longer or something else comes up and it makes it not as easy. But this one, this jackery had enough power to pump for 20 minutes. The battery level is 79%. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. But this worked a lot easier than I was expecting. Usually when I use the trash pump, I have to prime this big tube, get the generator motor started up there. But also we had a lot of rain on Thursday, so the water is trickling in from these two springs just as fast as I'm pumping it out, almost. Because you see the water level here hasn't decreased much at all. So this is a definite win. Got my tank filled. The hardest part of this project was unwinding this hose. Even though there was no frozen water in it, it's cold enough that this plastic just doesn't like to uncoil. So I'm going to leave the hose unwound. And out of pure curiosity, because I know that this pump works, I'm going to hook up this pump. I got plenty of battery. I got everything laid out, wired up, ready to go. I'm just going to swap this out with this one, turn it on, and see if it has enough oomph to get the water up the hill. So that's what I'll do next, and I'll keep you updated. All right, the little one is plugged in. We're gonna go see if it's pumping up the hill or not. Oh, it is pumping. Uh-oh, I'm gonna overflow. Okay, it worked. All right, even the little one works. Water flow is not nearly as fast, but as a backup, it works. All right, next step, disconnect everything, bring it up, store this in the pumps up there, drain these hoses so they don't freeze. And waterworks for today is done. On to the next project.